I don't really know how to start off this video, as it's kind of an announcement that I have written and published my first ebook called Kat's Teen Guide to Successful Veganism. And in this video I'm going to be kind of breaking down each chapter just kind of briefly to tell you what it's actually about. But if you don't really care, because the title's kind of self-explanatory, you can just go download it by going to the description, and there's a link down there and it will bring you to my website, my brand new website, which I made from scratch, so I'm very proud of. All of this has been just me working on it. I've had a few people help me with like editing and stuff, but other than that, I've done everything and I'm very proud of myself. So I would love to have you support me through this and go purchase my ebook, because it's just £5. So yeah, you can go to the description and download it through there. But now here's the breakdown of my ebook. The idea of this ebook actually came from me becoming vegan as a teenager. Funnily enough, it kind of hints at it in the title. But when I first became vegan, there were literally like no resources for people who wanted to become vegan when they're like a teenager, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And I knew when I first became vegan, and even like through the years, I wanted to create the resource that people could go to, people could recommend other people to go to. So yeah, I just worked really hard on all of the chapters to make sure they're really relevant to teens, because I'm a teen. I'm kind of talking about it in third person, but I'm a teenager, so I just wanted to make sure that all questions were kind of answered in the ebook, as well as just really helpful tips, because I hate those like ebooks or just normal books that you get and then you read it and you're like, well, duh. I mean, some of the stuff in this ebook are kind of like that, but it's kind of stuff you need to hear before you go vegan, if that makes sense. The first chapter is an introduction with my vegan story. So I kind of talk about what I was like before I became vegan, how I found out about veganism, how I kind of made the transition, and what I'm doing now and how I'm kind of coping, if you will, with being vegan. So I think it definitely gives you an insight of someone who actually is vegan as a teenager, which I think you get the most help from other people's experiences. The next chapter is getting your family and friends on board, which I think is very important when you're a teenager, because obviously you respect your parents' views, well I hope you do, and your friends' views, and it's kind of just getting them on your side. And how I did that, it's kind of like a step-by-step guide on how I did that and how you can do that, and different scenarios and how you can cope with it. The next chapter is eating out. So basically it's me showing you how you can veganize different meals when you're eating out, just some examples to kind of get you the hang of being vegan when you eat out. Because I know when I became vegan, I knew that I couldn't eat eggs, milk and meat, but other than that I was like, okay, there is stuff that isn't vegan, but it's kind of hard to figure out. So in this chapter I kind of just give some examples of how you can veganize stuff. It's very simple, but you kind of get the hang of it from reading the chapter. Meal prep tips is the next chapter, where I just share some advice on how you can meal prep, some points, and just kind of how I do it, and it just works really well in my opinion. So that's why I really wanted to share it with you, because I know meal prep when you live with your family or relatives, it can be pretty tricky, but through this I kind of show you it's not as hard as you may think originally. I then have a list of my essentials / staples. Obviously these are essentials regarding food, so I just kind of give a list of things that I love having in my pantry or my fridge and why I love having them. Then I have 1 week of recipes layout, which links to the next few chapters, because in this chapter it's just like a grid, just to make it easier to lay out. So it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and each one there's breakfast, lunch, snack and dinner. Yeah. So the snack sometimes is like a dessert as well. So I've just laid it out in under like each of those days which recipe you can follow. Obviously you can mix it up however you would like. I just tried to make it easy for you because this is going to be your first week as a vegan, your new recipes. Then I have an ingredient checklist of all the ingredients you're going to need during your first week being vegan, following all of my recipes. Then following that I have the 1 week of recipes, which which, as I mentioned before, has breakfast, lunch, snack and dinner for 7 days. So there's a lot of recipes in there which you can follow. All of the recipes don't use a blender. All of the recipes use the same ingredients in a way. Like, for example, Monday's breakfast may use the same ingredients as Tuesday's snack. Do you know what I mean? Like, they use very similar ingredients, so you can save money, you can save space in your like fridge, your pantry, your whatever. And also it just means you like need less ingredients. It just makes it very, very easy. The next chapter is resources. So I've included some of my favorite books, documentaries, scientific studies on veganism, so you can just kind of like educate yourself on veganism before going vegan, because I think that's very, very important, and I tell you why that's very important in the ebook. The next chapter is contact, where I put my social media and my email, where you can like DM me or just email me any questions you have, or just kind of keep up to date with me. I've also put my YouTube channel on there, so obviously you guys are up to date because you follow my YouTube channel, or if you haven't, go subscribe, push the subscribe button. The last chapter is a disclaimer. It's very, very boring, but it has to be done, and I thought I would just mention it because it is a chapter in my book and I did promise to go through each chapter. So those are all the chapters. It's a 43-page ebook, which I don't know how that compares to other ebooks, but I've included everything that's in my head that I think I should put in there. So I really hope it answers like all of your questions if you're interested in becoming vegan. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you want to download and buy the ebook, the link is in the description and it costs £5. I really hope you like it. Do let me know if you do or you don't. So that's it for this week's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm so happy to finally have it off my chest that I've written this ebook. I didn't really want to mention it earlier because it's taken me years to write this. It's like 43 pages. I know it doesn't seem a lot, but I kept on procrastinating about finishing the ebook. Like, I wrote the bulk of it in one go, and then the ending I was just like, I just didn't want to finish it because the thought of like publishing it and people reading it really, really scared me. Like, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to some things, and this was one of those things, and I was just worried about what other people were gonna think of it, and I don't know, just silly stuff like that. So it's taken me a while to finally finish it and be like, okay, this is enough, I've done enough work to it, like I can finally let people read it and actually find it useful, hopefully. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and if you're excited about my ebook as I am, give this video a big thumbs up and see you next week for another video. Bye!